Hello, everybody. Welcome to Be Well, a health and wellness series brought to you by Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well. We're so happy that you joined us today. We want to ask you right now to please take a moment, hit the like button on this video. We want you to share it with someone, let them know that we're here. We also want to invite you to follow us on all social media platforms. We're ELB Well everywhere. That's Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and even YouTube. We also ask you to follow our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Eat well, live well, be well. Thank you so much again for joining us. We have a great show lined up for you today. I am your host, Anita Faye Wilson. And before I get into the segment, I'm going to pause for just a moment for a commercial break, but I'll be right back. You're tuned in to Be Well, a health and wellness series presented by Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Visit our website at elbwell.com, sign up, join the journey, and take your life back. Movement Worldwide is a motivational organization veered to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. A movement to move, helping others thrust into their purpose to live their best life and win. For information, networking, and resources, visit the website at movementworldwide.org. You can also join Movement Worldwide for Power Walk Sunday every second Sunday at 10 a.m. on multiple platforms. Thank you again for joining us. I have a great segment lined up today, and it is entitled The Power of Plants. The power of plants. I think at some point or another, all of us have experienced that moment with a loved one, a friend, a family member who has introduced us to home remedies. Home remedies, especially particularly if you are from the island descent, you have definitely been exposed to some of the home remedies. Well, considering that we are not far removed from the days that our people will reach for something in the kitchen or out in the garden to promote healing as opposed to something on the shelf. We are not that far removed from that. Aspirin came in the 1900s. Insulin came in 1918. And that, of course, we use insulin for diabetes. And then after that, in 1928, the introduction of penicillin became popular. And that is actually what ushered in the rise of the pharmaceutical industry in full stream as we know it today. Now, the growth of the pharmaceutical industry was greatly helped because of funding, of course, from the government, with the National Institutes of Health seeing its federal funding rise to nearly $100 million by 1956. And at this point in time, the industry is worth over $5.5 billion. There's a never-ending argument back and forth between naturalists and pharmaceutical industries, so I don't get into that argument. But sadly, that $5.5 billion industry has the money and power and the backing from the government to silence all of the small naturalists and holistic specialists. But there's one that can't be silenced. If you go back to the Creator, the Bible speaks of visions of God restoring what he once made that was so pure, so helpful, so healing. The Garden of Eden had everything that we needed. There's a passage that I want to read from Ezekiel 47:12 that says, fruit trees of all kinds will grow on both banks of the river. Their leaves will not wither, nor will their fruit fail. Every month they will bear fruit because the water from the sanctuary flows to them. Their fruit will serve it for food and their leaves for healing. That is from one of the prophetic visions of the prophet Ezekiel in the Bible. And we learned from just history and watching our parents and the Native Americans and people in other countries, like people in Peru and, especially in Peru and places like that, where they actually depend on the things of the garden, the herbs and everything to promote healing. So here we are in this day and age. We have scientists who have taken the pharmaceutical business as we know it today and it's become, the replacement for the most part. We look at penicillin. I want to look at just one thing, take what actually started this whole thing with the pharmaceutical business, penicillin itself. Now, technically, everything that we have, everything that we experience, everything that we deal with comes from plants. That's just the truth. Comes from plants. Let's look at penicillin. Many years, scientists knew that there were molds that killed some bacteria. So they started doing all of this research on how to harness the antibacterial microbe to manufacture it enough so that it could make a useful medicinal antidote for people. So penicillin is actually mold that naturally produces the antibiotic penicillin, but it grows on fruit. So scientists learned to grow penicillin mold in these big fermentation tanks and adding a kind of sugar and other ingredients. And the process that they did grew the penicillin at great rate. Then they separated the penicillin product from the mold. And then finally, penicillin is purified and is created and put together in a lab for use as we know it today. But look where it all started, y'all. It started from fruit. I'm here to tell you, it's just the truth. So when we look at the medicinal powers of fruit and vegetables and herbs and all of the things of the earth, why is it that we turn to the modern day remedies before we turn to the things of the earth? Technically, everything that we needed was already created. But because we have actually adapted over a period of time, our lifestyle has adapted to being used to the things that we have created in the earth that we are partaking of now in our foods, with processed foods, with sugar, high fructose corn syrup, glucose, monosodium glutamate, all of those things that really, in essence, promotes bad health. It really just does. We've done many studies and many blogs on these things. But when we look at the medicinal factors that happen in something that we can grow in our own backyard, and I'm here to tell you from experience, I want to share one with you. This is parsley, y'all. Just plain parsley. Most people, when you think of parsley, you're going to reach in your cabinet and you're going to pull down something that's in a container and you're going to shake it on your food, but you're not necessarily going to, and every now and then we'll go to the grocery store and we'll pull out parsley, some fresh parsley. We get a little creative with our cooking. But when we look at the medicinal properties that are in parsley alone, it's surprising that there are so many things that you can do with something that can grow right in your backyard. High antioxidants, prevents kidney stones, good source of vitamin C, cancer-fighting properties. It could lower your blood sugar level. Among all of the other great benefits that we use it for in our foods. It flushes toxins from our kidneys. But in most cases, we're not going to reach for the parsley tea. I have some people who have come online with me. Hello, good people. I remember my grandma would always say, eat the mold of the fruit, and it's not going to kill, but heal you. Yes, yes, yes. The mold of the fruit is medicinal. When I was probably about 19 years old. Yes, and that plants are important. When I was probably about 19 years old, I think it was, I had one of the worst cases of the flu. I was living with my cousin Betty Wright. Her husband, King Sporty, took sour oranges off of a tree, cut them in half, and had me to take a bath in sour orange. Linda says, thank you. I've always believed everything we need for our healing is direct from the ground and not at the drugstore. Exactly. Listen at the name drugstore. Yes. But our medicinal properties, look at this bitter orange. Bitter orange. I was telling you the story about Betty's husband, the late King Sporty. He had me to take a bath in bitter orange. Natural bitter orange pills are aromatic slices of bitter orange, all of that stuff, which is from, it's actually a Middle Eastern thing. Bitter orange contains flavonoids and vitamin C, and they call it the magical fruit because it is an anti-inflammatory. It will reduce fever. It's antibacterial and antifungal. And I remember him saying to me, take the bath in bitter orange. It's penicillin. I'm looking at him like, that is not penicillin. But again, I was 19, I was green. I didn't know anything about medicinal properties of plants, nothing about anything holistic, no nutritional value. I mean, by the time, if you look at the life of our kids, I would say having taken about maybe 40 years of my life, I would say 35 years of my life that I have been responsible for what I eat. I've been primarily responsible. So therefore, 35 years, I've done some serious damage to my health for 35 years. Because the first thing I wanted to do when I got a job and I had my own money and I was, pretty much, my mom was like, well, whatever you eat, you're going to eat. At that time, my mom had 2 jobs, was taking care of my grandmother. I was working, I was doing my own thing, but I would go straight to Burger King. That I couldn't wait to get to Burger King and McDonald's and all of those things because that's the stuff that my mom wouldn't buy. My mom wouldn't do that. My mom didn't even give us cereal until Saturdays. It was a treat because every day of the week we had cooked food. I have some comments here. Thank you. I'm learning more and more of what it takes to be healthier. Yes, to be a healthier you. My grandma swore by root veggies, beets, sweet potatoes, carrots, turnips, rutabaga was her favorite. I do. That's the one I'm telling you. There are about 2 vegetables I can't stand, and rutabagas is one. I've been trying to figure out how to cook them right. I mean, they're not as bad to me as okra, and I know they're good for you. I'm sorry for saying that online, y'all, but it's the truth. I really just don't like it, but it's good for you. It's very healthy, and I'm really trying to find a way to eat some of those things that I don't like, in which I encourage everybody else to find your way. I'm gonna find my way to okra one day, maybe. But anyway, yes, root vegetables, very healthy. But there's so much that is in the earth that we just bypass, stuff that we would probably cut down with the lawnmower. And I can remember as a kid, other than, we had a sour orange tree in my yard growing up, but we never used those oranges because we were like, oh, those oranges are not good. Those oranges are bitter. Those oranges are no good. Those oranges are bitter. And when I thought back, after Betty's husband had me to take the bath in sour orange, I was like, wow, that was actually healing properties on a tree. We had no idea what it was or what to do with it. Sour orange was a healing thing that grew in our yard. We had navel oranges and plums and grapes and cherries, figs, guavas. My mother grew everything. But the sour orange tree, we just never, and it yielded fruit, but we never did anything to it. We just overlooked it. Why? Because we did not know. Conventional American people we just didn't know. Had I had, the closeness with Betty and her husband at the time, he could have told me, oh man, that's one of the best things you have in your yard. And we probably would have used it for the colds and the flus and the things that we experienced over time. But bitter orange, again, one of those things that we overlook. I have something that I'm going to show here that I know a lot of people have probably heard their mom, grandma, and everybody else talk about. And I remember drinking some. I did not like the taste of it. But when I think about it from the vantage point that my studies have shown me, I come to realize, wow, I should have been drinking this all the time. Sassafras tea. Sassafras tea. I can remember my mom pulling sassafras out of the yard and giving sassafras to our neighbor. I never in my life, I honestly, to me, it just seemed disgusting to go in your yard and get something and make tea. Again, until I moved with Betty and her husband, I was, little horse one night. He went outside in the yard and got some lemon leaf and made me tea. And it was one of the best cups of tea I've ever had. But sassafras has many health benefits. There's a long history of medicinal use with Native Americans, and they called it a miracle cure. And when European explorers came, of course, they were not impressed with it. But sassafras improved urinary tract health, reduces symptoms of arthritis, clear skin and eyes, treatment of sprains, reduces swelling and itching, bug bites, stings, boost immune health, improves circulation, reduces symptoms of gout, improves digestion, reduces fevers. Many, like I said, many, many, many medicinal properties. Sassafras. And I can remember sassafras almost growing wild. I'm looking for natural remedies for leg cramps. Oh, yes, definitely. Linda, we need to, you're in Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well. We can definitely talk about that. Sassafras tea. Yes, Carrie, I'm going to go to lemongrass soon. Sassafras is new to you. It wasn't new to me because you know what? They used to say if you liked root beer, then you would like sassafras. And now that I think about it, it did kind of have that weird, like root beery kind of taste to it. The tea was like, it had a strong flavor and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I drank a little bit of it one time. I was like, oh, this is nasty. Because of course, as a kid, we wanted everything with sugar. So, and that's the horrible part about what sugar did to our country, what it did to our society. But yes, Carrie brought up one that I'm going to actually bring up now, and that is lemongrass tea. Now, this one may be more popular for some people, the lemongrass tea. Very, very medicinal. A lot of healing benefits in lemongrass tea. My neighbor actually has lemongrass tea growing on the side of her house. It relieves anxiety. It lowers cholesterol, prevents infection. It boosts oral health, relieves pain, boosts red blood cell levels, relieves bloating. There's so many things that lemongrass tea does. Antioxidant, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, reduces cancer risks, promotes healthy digestion. It's a diuretic, a lot of things. And again, you can grow this even in a pot. I have a pot garden on my patio. You can grow lemongrass in a pot without problem. Terry said, I need a sprig. Lemongrass, I just saw last year, a friend of mine in Daytona had a garden, and she texted me and asked me, what do I do with the lemongrass? And so I sent her a whole page on what you can do with lemongrass. I cook with lemongrass, must try as a tea. Absolutely. Absolutely as a tea. Very, very healthy. And if you notice, I'm showing you teas because I love teas. I love to get my medicinal herbal input from teas as opposed to a capsule and a tincture. Why? Because it's the most natural form that I can get it in. If I can get the leaf, if I can get the loose leaf, that's what I'm going to use. Very seldom do I use a powder, a tea bag, or something out of a jar or bottle. I'm very, very heavy on getting the actual natural herb. I have a couple of herbalists that I deal with. I go to the stores. I go to Nutrition Smart here in Pembroke Pines. There are a few of them around Florida, Nutrition Smart stores, where they actually still sell the loose herb, the loose leaf herb that you can buy by the ounce. But I love to go and buy loose leaf herbs because that is how you're going to get the closest to the actual plant, unless you grow it yourself. The parsley is on my patio, and when I need to make something with parsley, I go and cut parsley off my patio. For tea, I go cut parsley off my patio. Juicing, I go cut parsley off my patio. And there are many things like that you can grow. Just try it. Just try it. And I get my seeds from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange.com because they are uncompromised. They are from the actual plant. They are not produced and genetically modified, which most of the seeds, even the ones that say non-GMO, they're modified. So be careful and be mindful of what you are putting in your mouth. God made so much for us. And if we would just take the time and do a little research, reach for some research, study, there are plenty of books out. There's that will tell you things that you can use for natural remedies. Like there's a book on a whole bunch of vinegar remedies. One book, and it's thick too. But there are so many books and so much research that's available. I always reach for natural before I reach for anything synthetic. Now, doctors are definitely a necessity. I do take my amlodipine. Yes, I do. But I'm also studying on how to lower my blood pressure to the point that they can lower my dosage, which they're considering doing in September. So that's the kind of thing I do. I have another comment. Plus, it goes through your bloodstream quicker to provide relief you need for your ailments. You're absolutely correct. When you take it in tea form, it does travel faster. When you take, just like anything that you take that can go directly into your digestive system, to go directly to your organs, directly to whatever the ailments are, that's actually the best form. The best form. And the best form for me is to eat it, drink it, in its natural state, the most natural state that I can get it. And that's actually just that's my take on that. And I think I have one more for you here. Do I have one more? I think I have one more. Yes, I do. Now this one is a little controversial. I just want to show you how there's medicinal properties and things that we don't think about. And I am not promoting this. No, this is not promoted by Eat Well Live Well Be Well. We're not promoting y'all to go out and get any of this stuff. However, it is legal to get it in the United States. And that is coca tea. Coca leaf, it is so healthy, honestly. And of course, that is what, the leaf is what cocaine is made from. And it's very highly addictive when you put it through your nose and you smoke it and those things. I do not promote that at all. However, there was a time that it was banned because it had to be, and I think the word it uses, decocanized. It had to be processed differently, raised differently. And there's one company in the United States that is actually certified to sell coca leaf tea. And this is something that I've never tried. But in my research, of course, in studying cannabis and in studying different things and the medicinal properties, there were great medicinal properties. Now, there are places that coca leaf is legal, like Peru and Brazil and different places, that are not, the United States. It's not legal, only from the one company. However, there are medicinal properties. And the thing is, you have to think about it this way. There are great things that you can get from fruits and vegetables and herbs. And there are also negative things that people can do with fruits, vegetables, and herbs. It's just weighing your options and getting the best form that is for you. So I promote the most natural way possible to fight any disease. When you're having joint problems, you're having arthritis issues, rheumatoid arthritis, degenerative diseases, cat's claw. When you're having kidney issues and bladder problems, urinary tract infections, butu, cleavers, parsley, dandelion, one of the best. When you're having inflammation and not inflammation, but mucus buildup, there's horehound, colt's foot, those things, very medicinal. Echinacea, very medicinal. Those are things that break down and get rid of mucus. So there's so many things that you can do. And I would encourage you guys to kind of get the information from either holistic doctors or from study. And you can also join us at Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well. What's good for fatigue? Of course, melatonin and L-theanine. The fatigue is from not getting the sleep. If you are tired, if you're fatigued, there's actually one of these was actually good for There's chronic fatigue syndrome. I think it was lemongrass tea, or it was sassafras. I have to look at my notes again to let you know. But one of the things about being tired is from not getting ample rest. Either your body's not resting, and if you have sleep apnea, use your machine because you're not resting. But for fatigue, it's just sleep. It's just that simple. But there's some people whose minds won't rest, whose your body is jittery. You can't get rid of the anxiety. And I hear a lot of people say, well, melatonin doesn't help me. Well, I went to a seminar with a lady. Her name is Dr. Jill. She has a website, and as askdrjill.com. She said that when you put melatonin along with L-theanine, that is what actually does the job for you getting the sleep, because the melatonin calms you, but the L-theanine lets your brain rest. It makes makes you stop thinking so much. And I know with me, that was always my problem. But I would say I have been getting the best sleep I have ever gotten lately. And one of the things that I attribute it to is I have been taking a nighttime vitamin by it's Mary Ruth's Organics. Mary Ruth Organics. You can look it up. Mary Ruth Organics. I've been taking a night vitamin that really has enhanced my sleep. It is actually corrected my sleep pattern. I also was taking the melatonin and L-theanine. I still do from time to time from Dr. Jill. I just don't like pills, and she does it in capsule form, and the capsules that she makes really get stuck on my paraffin fossa in the throat, and it's annoying. It takes it a while to dissolve until I feel it, and I'm frustrated and drinking like a gallon of water trying to get rid of that. But the liquid vitamin by Mary Ruth Organics, I've noticed that it is giving me what I need at night and balanced out everything, my hormones, my thinking, all of that, and I sleep like a baby. So that's been very, very, very beneficial to me as far as getting sleep. But I encourage you guys to come to our website. It's elbewell.com. We are Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well. We're helping people get rid of the fad, myths, and rhetoric about food, fad diets, and conventional healthcare. We want you to just join this journey with us. We're all on a journey, but we're on a journey to take our lives back. Take our lives back from food, take our lives back from conventional meds, take our lives back from sickness and disease, take our lives back from obesity, take our lives back from just overall not being healthy. So we invite you to come to elbewell.com. You can sign up, and we also have classes that we offer about this very thing, about herbal and medicinal medications. We have classes that we offer, webinars, they're personal webinars that we offer for meal prep, for raw diet, for all kinds of things. You can also sign up to be a part of our program and become a part of our Tribe Elite, where you have access to all of our materials. But there's so much there. If you will go to elbewell.com and click through all of the pages, read the information. We have many testimonials. We have many things. And we're here each and every second and fourth Saturday at 3 p.m. sharing and giving information to you. So you can go to our YouTube page, which is Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well, and you'll see all of the videos that we've posted thus far since we've been doing the Be Well seminar. But I thank you all so much for joining. It's been real. It's been fabulous. I hope you all have enjoyed. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us, info@elbewell.com, or you can go to our site, go to our contact page, click that contact, and send us a message, and we will get back in touch with you. So again, sign up today, join the journey, take your life back, people. You will not regret it. I can guarantee you that. Y'all have a good one. I'm out. It was good. Bless y'all. You're tuned in to Be Well, a health and wellness series presented by Eat Well, Live Well, Be Well. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Visit our website at elbewell.com, sign up, join the journey, and take your life back. Movement Worldwide is a motivational organization built to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. A movement to move, helping others thrust into their purpose to live their best life and win. For information, networking, and resources, visit the website at movementworldwide.org. You can also join Movement Worldwide for Power Walk Sunday every second Sunday at 10 a.m. on multiple platforms.